Hi, and welcome to Wheelnerds. This is episode 223. I'm Chuck.
And I'm Todd, son of Todd.
We're going to be talking about motorcycles.
And the drink of the heathen kings of old. Charles, son of Bill, it is time.
Okay.
Bring me your flagon.
You mean this cup?
Yes, that cup. There.
Yeah, the cup, the glass.
We'll be drinking mead like the heathen kings of old.
Ooh, mead. What kind of mead?
This is Saskatoon mead that I got in Canada. Saskatoons, of course, are service berries. That's the
Are there what?
Blackfoot word for them. Service berries.
Service. Like S-E-R-V-I-C-E?
Yeah.
Service berries. What's a service berry?
That's the English word for Saskatoon. It's a berry that grows on a bush, has kind of an upward little...
And it does service?
No.
It serves as mead.
Serves to flavor mead. Salud.
Kampai. That's good mead.
It is good mead.
God damn, I love mead.
Yes.
Oh, mead is good.
So this is from the Fallen Timber Meadery.
Oh, that's so good.
So one of the things that I found when I went to Canada.
Wait. Oh, God. All right, continue.
One of the things I discovered when I went to Canada was that the where here we have this craft brewing kind of thing that's in its full flight right now.
Hops.
Yes, too many hops. On everything. All the hops. Yes, well guys with beards are over hopping things here. In Canada, the cider and mead stuff is really kicking up. I mean, you go to the cider section, and they have like a genuine selection of ciders.
Of cider?
Ciders.
Holy
and
shit.
There's like more than one mead in the shop at the same time too. I did not buy the other mead that was there because it was really expensive.
And this is just a Canadian thing?
Yeah, it's a Canadian thing apparently.
My ex-wife's husband is Canadian.
Oh, okay.
I have reasons to befriend him now.
Can you get me some mead or cider? Huh? Never mind.
Just do it, monkey.
Dance, monkey, dance. But no, I like this one.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's not a super sweet mead, and the service berries, the Saskatoon adds a really interesting
It's tart.
It's a tart,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a tart, and the service berries have that kind of earthy quality about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you ever eaten a honeysuckle berry right off a honeysuckle plant, okay, you should do it sometime. Partly for the amusement of watching you taste the skin. So here's the thing about honeysuckle berries: is the inside of a honeysuckle berry has the same kind of flavor like a Saskatoon.
Okay.
The outside is indescribably foul.
So I want to eat these. Why?
You pop it in your mouth and you get the stuff. You squeeze it and chomp it and get the stuff inside, and then spit out the skin as fast as you can.
Sometimes I wonder how we as a species eat some of the things. Like, who thought of eating some of the things we eat?
Well, the part of it you got to remember is that we as a species, we're like, what the hell can we eat around here? I don't know. This looks okay. I mean, our evolutionary advantages basically come down to thumbs and the ability to eat just about fucking anything organic.
But I wonder how some of these ideas occur to people. Like, who looked at a monkey shitting and thought, I should make coffee out of that?
They were really hungry. That's pretty much how it all starts, right? They were really hungry.
I could eat that.
Yeah, so I went on a big trip through Canada.
Yeah, this is their vacation. This is why we've been gone for a few weeks.
Yes, I was on vacation in Canada. The plains of Alberta are exactly as described by my Canadian neighbor. You can, in fact, watch your dog run away for 3 days out there.
So Kansas.
Honestly, yeah, it's like Kansas, eh? Actually, it feels a little more like North Dakota, which is not surprising, being as they're next door.
Mm-hmm.
So that was okay. We got to see some of what they call the dinosaur loop there.
Did you try to swing by Sturgis or close to Sturgis? You see any remnants of Sturgis?
I did see a lot of motorcycles,
on
especially
trailers?
out in the Canadian Rockies. No, actually, in the Canadian Rockies, we make fun of the Harleys on trailers here.
Yeah.
If you go out far afield, there are a bajillion fucking Harleys out there. Harley.
Nice one.
Thanks.
So professional.
So Harley Geezer Glides and Gold Wings, and I actually saw 2 Norges, if you can believe that, in the wild. But those guys are riding the fucking wheels off those things up there in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really neat.
All right.
I even saw I even saw what I think was one of the guys who bought a BMW GS with a sidecar. He was coming up the road to Yoho, and I was going down.
Yoho.
Yes.
So that was
kind of
no
neat.
idea about the geography of Canada.
Okay. All right. So when you go in the Eastern Canadian Rockies, that's Banff and Jasper National Park, like the big names. Banff fucking sucks because Banff is like
but doesn't everyone go
tourists.
To Banff?
Yes, they do, which is why it fucking sucks because everyone goes to Banff.
Everyone says Banff. Everyone mentions
Banff is very pretty if you're in a fucking tour bus and just need to get off the bus and go a little ways and look at something.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing in my retirement.
Yes, and those of you, incidentally, who may have heard about a wolf attack in Banff at a campground. Yeah. My wife heard the screams because we were just around the corner from that.
Wow.
We slept in the car.
They said that was very unusual.
I don't recommend sleeping in a car with a 6-year-old on top of you. You will be kneed in the balls repeatedly.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. Don't recommend it. But yeah, the next morning, everybody who was in tents in that campground, their car windows were all fogged up because they were sleeping in the car.
What was the story with that?
They think it was a wolf that was like at the end of its life. It had gotten kicked out of the pack. There's 3 active packs in the area. And it was just super desperate. And it like came to rip into the tent. And so the dad did what you do if a large dog attacks you. You start fighting it. He's like grabbing it by the mouth, grabbing it, trying to hold its mouth open and clobber the thing.
Yeah.
And, so it starts flailing around. And of course, a wolf is like the biggest fucking dog you've ever seen.
Right.
So it starts flailing around, gets loose, clamps onto his arm. So his family's screaming a lot. He's screaming now.
Yeah.
The guy from next door comes running over and sees it, and he's coming up at a run. And so he didn't even slow down. He just runs right up and just fucking boots the wolf as hard as he can.
Shit.
Yeah. Wolf lets go of the guy. And then, so now there's 2 guys outside throwing rocks at a wolf. And finally get it to go away.
And they ended up euthanizing that thing, right? They found
Jesus,
yeah.
They tracked it down, did the DNA to make sure it was it, shot it.
Poor wolf.
Fuck that dude. That wolf. If it had been me, I would have been looking for the biggest rock I could find and bashing that thing's skull in. There's one thing to see like a wolf at a distance. You're like, wolves, they're so nice, they're so wonderful.
Majestic.
And then, but somewhere in the back of your head, remember, a human being is basically a monkey with anxiety, right? So somewhere in the back of your head is this scared monkey who's like, climb tree, hit with rock.
Yeah.
Teeth, hit with rock. Find sharp stick.
Find a chopstick?
Find sharp stick.
Oh, sharp stick. I'm like, a chopstick. What are you going to do? Make sushi?
Must find pointy stick. Heavy rock.
Heavy rock. Pointy stick.
Bash, bash.
Todd, why are you wearing the wolf skin? I am their king now. Wow.
I'll stink my meat now. Not me. No. The guys came around and they're like, yeah, so they tell what happened. And we're like, huh. And Ruth Ann's like, what do you do? And I'm like, what we do is we get a blanket and we get in the fucking car.
Get in the car now.
Because wolves can't open car doors.
We hope.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I locked the doors. which at the time I recognized this. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Ka-chunk. But I feel unaccountably better now.
Can we have the window open a little bit?
No.
It might turn into vapor and come through the crack.
Wolves can do that.
I saw that on a documentary once.
Yeah, I'm all for reintroducing wolves into the environment, but that was weird.
Yeah.
And because he was completely out of character. And there was nothing in the tent. There was no food. I mean, like, they kept an actual nice, clean campsite. And you're like, what the actual fuck?
That thing just...
it's bizarre.
Yeah, he was just at the end of his rope, I guess.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And I mean, at the one hand, it's like, it's bizarre and it's kind of scary because of what it is. And you're like worried about your kids.
Sure.
On the flip side, you have to remember a wolf is basically a big dog. And really, a full-grown human who it's not surprising, the wolf is not really in a good position at that point. 2 full-grown humans, that wolf is fucked. 8 ways from Sunday.
How about 1 full-grown human who's in his mummy sleeping bag?
Well, that's pretty much the wolf's only approach.
That's when Todd's like, zzz,
and that's only until the arms are free. And then it's rock time. Wife, fetch my smashing rock.
I'm sure that worked really well. From this point forward, going on all his trips, Todd will have a smashing rock.
Some consideration was given to the hammer we have for tent pegs.
I'll just put this by my head, just in case.
Well, I usually have a tomahawk with me. So,
did you not this time?
No, I didn't. When you cross the Canadian border, they ask you about like all the weapons and things you can't bring, like bear spray and knives, and
you can't take bear spray into Canada.
They're like pepper spray or anything banned. I'm like, oh no, because I was like, I guess I'm glad I didn't buy bear spray. He's like, yep, we confiscate a lot of it. I'm like, the fuck.
But we've talked to people.
You're all bears.
We've talked to people that have taken shotguns into Canada.
I assume you must need papers. I don't know.
Huh.
I've taken unloaded shotguns into Canada, but I was crossing through. And
I could have swear Jeff said he took a shotgun into Canada when he went.
Maybe you can fill out the paperwork. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then, if you're fighting a bear with a shotgun, let's be honest, you got to file the sight off the end of the shotgun. That way it hurts less when the bear shoves it up your ass.
But the wolf.
The wolf?
He's not shoving that up your ass.
He ain't shoving anything up the ass. That wolf is going to be Mr. Smash and Rock. Wolf? Rock Wolf.
Rock Wolf. That's the name of your new metal band.
There may be a little scared monkey in the back of my head, but there's a reason the little scared monkey walks on 2 feet and owns cars and makes roads and has a house. Because he can hit things real hard with heavy objects.
With a rock.
It starts there.
I'm a qualified Euro mechanic. I'm all about rocks.
Step the fuck off, Loop.
Well, it's nice to have you back, Sans Wolf.
Yes, yeah. It's kind of nice to be back. The main reason, I'll be honest with you, that it's nice to be back.
The beard's looking good.
Yeah.
Coming in real nice.
Yeah. I'll shave it eventually, but for the moment, I'm having fun with it. And as I told my kids, I'm like, all of the arguing you did while we were camping, all these white hairs in the beard are due to that. Every one of them can be traced directly back to an arguing session while camping.
I can't do that.
No. Doesn't work out anymore.
No. Far too old.
Well, your daughter's been arguing with you for longer than mine.
Far too old. Far too white. Beard. I mean. She just laughs at the beard. At the white in the beard.
Yeah. She laughs now. Her day will come.
I don't think her beard will go white.
You don't think so?
No, I think she'll be okay.
All right. Well, speaking of strange foreign animals,
do you have any motorcycle news?
Motorcycle news.
Personal motorcycling?
Yeah, I actually went out on a ride, which I very seldom do.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll just throw where I'm going to be in the morning.
Which you did invite me.
Yeah, so I first invited Chuck and Claire because like if I'm going to ride with somebody, I want to ride with you guys because like I don't have to. I can just ride and like not fucking worry about it.
Yep, I could go this weekend.
I'm going to be gone this weekend, so
God damn it,
go figure. But when you guys couldn't come because you're lame as fuck.
I had my kid.
Yeah, and Claire had a class.
It was a daughter weekend.
Okay, all right.
Fuck you.
Anyways, so I got there and nobody showed up, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna ride by myself.
Yeah.
I had a great ride. I had read a couple of the Three Wheels Better has just published a couple of books that I bought.
Three Wheels Better?
Yeah, he's a guy on ADV Rider. He's one of the big hack people.
Okay.
He builds sidecar rigs. He's in Croatia, I want to say now, or maybe the Czech Republic, but he was in England building sidecar rigs.
Okay.
So he's got 2 books, one about technique and one about like building and setting up. I read the technique book thinking like, yeah, I'll glaze through it. And I ended up reading the whole thing. And like a few of the techniques he was talking about, I was using and I was like, this is working really well. Like I was going after it. It was kind of cool.
Okay.
So that was really neat. I highly recommend the books.
Are they free?
No.
Okay.
No, but they're not super expensive.
Are they available on Amazon?
I don't think so.
ADV Rider?
Yeah, check out ADV Rider, and he's got it posted, the link there.
Okay.
It's small press, like they're come bound up in a binder sort of thing, but quite good actually.
Maybe a PDF.
Yeah, something like that. You can probably buy a PDF.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but yeah, I had an awesome ride.
Cool.
Yeah, went all the way up over Monty and back down over.
Bandit's running fine then.
Bandit is running like fucking gangbusters.
Okay.
And the knobs don't really bother me on the knobby tire anymore. Oh, it's maybe because they're ground down to
They're
nothing.
gone.
They're basically gone. But other than that, no, Bandit's
Funny
running,
how that works.
the Bandit's running great, riding great. It was a fantastic freaking ride.
Nice.
There's one point I was coming back on Monty and I'm like, I'm getting some pretty good speed on it. And then some dude on a Repsol bike goes by me like I'm going backwards.
I'm feeling good about my woo.
Oh,
hello.
Well, good day.
I'll just pull over. I'll just shoot myself.
That's all right. I'm pushing the sidecar around, and even at speed, the Bandit. There's definitely moments where I'm like, I really think a leading link front end would be nice for the Bandit, because that Bandit is a bit of a handful at times.
Especially when you're rocking it,
wailing. Yes, you're flogging it. But there was a big group of like Billies and sports cars up there, and they were at the top of Monty, and I went by, and I was like considering stopping the top and eating my snack, but it was full of Billies, and I just passed somebody, so I was like, no, I don't want to fucking give up my free open road.
Okay.
So I go by, and I'm coming back, and the Billies are gone. And I get back around the corner, and after you go over the top, there's that kind of like a squiggly bit, and there's the pretty sharp right turn, and then you go down and go from there. And there's kind of the cliff on the sharp right turn. Everybody's clustered around that, and they're all like looking over the side, like ooh, ooh. And I'm like, oh god, did something happen? And I'm like, I guess realistically, there's probably nothing I can do. I mean, there's cars there, right? So if there's like somebody needs to get to a hospital, they can put them in a fucking car.
Everyone's just looking.
Everyone's just like looking. And I'm like, okay, that was really strange. And I get down around the corner and a cop car goes by like fucking bat out of hell. I'm like, oh, followed by an ambulance going mad fast.
Oh.
I'm like, oh dear. Oh, somebody must have really hurt themselves. And then I swear to God, every goddamn cop in Cache Valley and like 3 fire trucks go by the other way. I'm like, damn.
Wow.
I don't know what went down, but it was bad.
Damn.
Yeah. So I've been watching the news. Nothing's shown up yet, but like I have no idea what happened. Like I'm assuming by the number of people and stuff, like and who it was there. I'm thinking it might have been like one of the cars or something.
Probably one of the cars missed a turn and went over
and
the
just
side.
went.
I've been in that situation.
Oof.
Well, I'm not the one that went over the side.
Sure.
I was in the group. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. That's oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Woo.
Yeah, exactly.
Hope they're okay.
Yeah, hope so too. So yeah, I was really hoping it wasn't the guy in the Honda who was, really getting after it.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Oh God, that'd be weird.
Yeah, hope it's not one of ours. Yeah. If it was him and he went into that corner too hot and went off the side, he's not listening to the show.
You'd see that on the news.
Probably.
You'd see that.
You'd think, but I don't know. Who knows?
Someone bite it. Dark note. I don't know if I'm going to share this. I might cut it out.
Oh, okay.
After my divorce, I briefly considered not going on. And the way I figured I would do it would be Monty.
Make it look like an accident on Monty.
Oh God, it wouldn't look like an accident at all. Everyone would be able to tell I just had the throttle pinned when I hit that turn.
There are certainly opportunities aplenty on Monty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for the best.
I was too lazy to make that ride to go all the way up to Monty.
Yeah. Too lazy to get up in the morning.
Too lazy to get up in the morning, get up there, miss the traffic enough to have that runway all the way up.
So one of the funny things about the ride was I set it up. I was like, I'll be there at 8:30, thinking like that was a gentle time. Because if it was me, honestly it was just me and Claire, we'd be there like fucking 7:30. Yeah, we'd like hit it before anyone else even thinks about the road. Like if anyone is awake and considering the road, I'm sort of annoyed.
Oh my God. Fuck.
Yeah. And I get out there and I'm going up and a whole bunch of this, the more like serious sport bike guys are coming back. I'm like, God damn it. God damn it.
Usually on a Sunday morning, there's not a whole lot of guys.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't feel like I was hitting a lot of traffic at any point.
Yeah.
Like a couple of the lower sections,
Oh, this weekend would suck. It's Labor Day weekend.
This weekend's going to be a shit show.
Fuck that, yeah.
And as it was on the way home, there's the usual I considered doing the
motorhomes.
loop around Mirror Lake, but I didn't want to end up in the fucking 3-hour camper parade.
Yeah.
I've got a camper and I barely ever pull it anywhere. This is hard. Oh no!
Why you gotta make fun of the way I drive? Wow.
Yep.
Well, I haven't done any good ride this year.
Yeah, it was actually very freeing, and it reminded me that it's important sometimes to do things just for the hell of it and just for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I got to tell you, with kids, it's very hard to remember to do that.
Yeah.
Extremely difficult.
Yeah, it's good you do.
Mm.
Now I want to go on a ride somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Not like off a cliff or anything.
No. Let's not do that bit.
Yeah, no.
No.
Though if I did, I'd have my Helite on.
Yeah, we'll stay. Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. This show is brought to you by Helite.
Makers of the Turtle 2 airbag vest.
We're so good at this.
Yes, which is I have to say, I freaking love that vest.
Yeah, it's very.
The first Turtle I was skeptical on. The two, oh my god, it's so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
So good, so comfy.
I still have to sell my Turtle 1. If anyone wants to buy my Turtle 1, let me know. And
yeah,
I haven't even taken pictures of it yet. I'm so fucking lazy.
It's super average sized. If you're an average sized American dude, Chucks will fit you great.
Yeah. No, and now the Turtle's available in high-vis orange.
Oh, yeah, just in time for me to not get a high-vis orange that would actually match my Aero Stitch.
Absolutely.
God damn it.
So go to helitemoto.com and check out the Turtle 2, Turtle 1, and all the other adventure stuff they got for airbaggies.
Yes, once you try it out, you will not be sorry. It's fantastic.
Yeah, even Claire's got one now.
Yeah.
So,
he finally cracked.
He cracked. All those years of him telling us, nah.
Mm-hmm. There's a shockingly large number of Utah Rider Ed folks rocking them now.
I've seen them around.
Yep. People are realizing it's actually legitimately a lot freaking better.
It's a great idea.
It's comfier and it's safer. What's not to like?
Yeah, and you look like a firefighter.
Yes. Are you a smoke jumper? Let's go with yes.
Sure.
I like yes.
Do I get any free stuff?
Can I have free beer? No.
I sent my Aero Stitch in to get washed and repaired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it took about 4 weeks altogether.
Falstaff's going to go in and have the cuffs repaired this year.
Okay.
I got a bunch of spot where the zippers have chewed up the cotton on the cuffs.
My main zipper broke.
Oh, yuck.
Like just about 2 inches worth of teeth were just gone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I figured while I was there, I might as well wash it and stuff.
Wash it. How will you know it's...
Huh?
How will you know it's yours?
They couldn't get all of it out. She called me up. Aero Stitch called me up and they were like, we're washing it. And there's some of these stains we just can't get out.
It's too Chuck.
Yeah. I was like, oh, don't worry about it.
It's fine.
As long as it doesn't stand up by itself anymore, I'm happy.
Is it clean?
She was just like, really? I just want to make sure your expectations are realistic, that this isn't going to look brand new.
You're like, lady, I live in this thing.
Yeah. I'm like, whatever you send back to me is going to be an improvement.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool that they were like so concerned. I can only imagine.
I'm really looking forward to the Falstaff now because they're gonna be like, this thing's really raggedy. I'm like, that huge review that you always post with the Falstaff? Yeah, that's me. It's that Falstaff. They'll be like, oh, all right.
I can only imagine some of the customers that they get are like, how come this isn't all clean? That there's still like a little black thing on the knee.
There's schmutz all over the one part.
Yeah,
it always touches the bike.
It's bad.
There's dead bugs everywhere.
I'm like, ladies, some of that is held together by duct tape. I don't mind. It's cool.
Yeah, I gotta give it up for their customer service. They're really cool.
They are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
nice.
I was very pleased with what I got back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I finally made the jump. I'm very pleased with the jump.
Yeah, I'd like to get the Cousin Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. I can't decide whether that sounds cool or lame because it's a 2-piece. Although they have the 1-piece one now.
Yeah.
Because a friend got a 2-piece Roadcrafter, and honestly, I'm like looking at it. I'm looking at mine. I'm like, this is really not as cool.
Really?
Yeah. It's just all of the extra like stuff that the 2-piece adds. The extra zipper and the overlap and all that. I'm like, this is kind of not awesome.
Huh?
Yeah.
My wife's been like making noises about me getting a new Stitch. So, because in her mind, she thinks they expire.
What?
And
there are Stitches out there that are significantly older than your daughter.
This is a reason.
Sorry. You need a wax cotton one.
Yes.
That's clearly the only responsible choice.
Clearly, because they expire.
And like a huge tub of Martinex. like the biggest one they sell,
Okay.
possibly a bucket.
One I can swim in?
Yes.
All right.
You just roll in it instead of having to rub it on the suit. You just like roll back and forth in it like a cob of corn. Man,
so safe.
God, that sounds fantastic. Do you know what a pain in the ass it is to do the wax on those jackets?
No,
God,
but rolling in it sounds much better.
rolling in it would be massively
Rolling in it
preferable.
on a really hot day.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Just spread it out on a tarp.
Doing it by hand blows. It's a solid like 2 hours, after which your fingers ache.
No. I'm going to wait for a 100-degree day and just roll in it like a burrito. That was a little too
That was
graphic.
somebody opened a can of spam. Sorry.
That was. I don't know why. So disturbed.
Hi, Chuck. How's it going?
Welcome back, Todd.
We're back. We have mead.
Mm-hmm.
We're out of mead.
And a Whopper.
We drank the mead.
We drank the mead. Let me see that bottle.
Careful, it's wet as shit because the ice is melting.
Yeah, you had it in a bucket of ice for us.
Yeah, it seems it drinks better cold.
Oh yeah, mead.
Yeah,
That's fancy.
mead likes to be cold. Yeah.
In Alberta's foothills, our bees work constantly to provide the perfect base for our Saskatoon mead. A blend of Saskatoon berries with a hint of apple lends tart tones that harmonize perfectly with sweet honey notes, creating a well-balanced, bright, and clean mellow mel? Mellow mel. I don't know what that means.
I don't
Ro
know.
probably knows.
Mm.
Thank you for the meat. That was amazing.
You're welcome. You are welcome. My wife already got hers before I brought it downstairs. She's like, no, give me some of that for you and Chuck first.
All right, what we got?
Oh, it's classified time.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Classified, yeah. What we do is we look at classifieds, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we make fun of them, and then
people write us angry letters about how lame we are for doing classifieds.
yeah, you guys stop doing classifieds. You're super lame. You guys. Here's a slingshot motorcycle bike trike.
That is not what that is.
Sure it is. For sale, custom slingshot motorcycle or reverse trike motorcycle.
Wait, that's not what that word is.
Clear or
Reverse.
or reverse. Reverse? No, that's reverse.
That's not spelled right.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Are
it
you
is.
Sure.
Yes. The mead is going to your head.
No, there's something wrong with that word.
Nope. Reverse trike motorcycle. Clear title. Clean. Fun. More room for passengers. 6-cylinder blowers. Fun, powerful bike. Call me for more information on it. Make a reasonable offer. So it looks as though someone has made a thing.
Oh, you're right. That is spelled right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a thing.
That is not a slingshot. Nothing.
There is parts of a Goldwing on something. I don't know what the 6-cylinder motor is, but I love the fact that every one of these pictures tells a different strange story. There's this old guy sitting on it. Like Father Time is sitting on it. Looking like not super into it.
He doesn't look like he wants to sell it.
He doesn't look at all like he wants to sell it.
Is that the gas tank he's sitting on?
I don't know.
I think
I live
so.
in fear.
I think that's a gas
That is
tank.
indeed the gas tank. You're right.
It's like a car's gas tank.
Well, it is a car with a motorcycle back wheel. Yeah, and he's just like sitting on it, like puttering on it. Like it looks like somebody just like found him in his yard and took pictures of him, like sitting on
Offering
it.
to sell it.
Yeah,
It's got a car front end.
As his dog looks on from the porch, and the
puppy.
busted ass van in the background hangs out. And
This dude is part of the shadow economy.
this is a super shadow economy. This guy. This is like one of the major shadow economy hubs.
This is Father
This is-
Time of the shadow economy.
Yes,
He's got a shadow economy washing machine on his porch
yes, he does. This guy is. This is
and a door.
Couple doors looks like. Yeah, this is the shadow economy like hub in the area. Like when the shadow economy guys are looking.
Wait, go back a picture.
Okay, going back a picture.
So you're sitting. Oh, okay. And so is that the clutch?
Yes, I think it must be the clutch because it's a car engine in the front.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a foot clutch.
Yeah, so it's got all car controls, and the only motorcycleness of it is that he appears to have taken Vetter luggage and like some Harley luggage and kind of whacked it on there.
Yeah.
Seems to be the outcome. There are no pictures of the mechanicals other than like this old guy and like here's a bad picture of a bumper and it's blurry.
You think this got power steering?
I can only assume.
Because if it didn't, there's a video.
There's a video? I will be dipped in shit. We're going to watch this video, listeners.
The best medium for watching videos.
It's the dude. It's the video of the dude, and he's still just like sitting there like, huh?
He just has screen caps.
Just like, what am I doing on this?
Is it running? Is that the noise from the motor? God, yeah, it is running. What is that motor?
6-cylinder. It looks like a V6, and it's got stuff on it. And he's just like chilling.
It's got a sound system.
Well, of course it has a sound system. You wouldn't buy this without Beats. Fuck.
I love the twin air intakes, cold air intakes.
Yes, the twin cold air intakes in the front. And he's just like chilling. He's like, yep, I'm hanging out, man. What's up?
He has no idea where he is.
I think so. I think honestly, this was like,
hey, Dad, sit on this.
Do I have to?
Yes.
All right.
You want your gruel?
God. No, there it is. That happened. That I did not learn anything new about it from watching the video.
But it does look put together with care and some skill.
Yeah, it looks as though it was assembled with skill. It is just beyond weird.
You think it's registered as a motorcycle or a car?
I'm gonna say car because of the motor and all the steering and stuff is all the car stuff. Just guessing.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on the VIN number, right?
Yeah. But what if Chuck, here's the important question. What if you thought this was backwards? What if like Tadpole wasn't your jam?
Uh-huh.
What if you needed something that was more of the more classic Delta trike?
Sure. I would need a custom trike with V6 and auto transmission for $15,000. Custom built trike, 4.3 V6 engine, fuel injected engine, automatic transmission, and rear end are from 98 GMC Sonoma Extreme.
Why is everybody making these out of pickup trucks?
Harley Davidson seat, including passenger seat, Harley Davidson hand controls, 56 millimeter Demon Cycle front end, biggest inverted aftermarket front end made. Custom built stainless steel gas tank, 10 to 12 gallons. Paint is base and clear coat. Trike was inspected and title made by Kentucky.
Which
cash only.
That's how you know it's good.
Cash only. Pickup only. Call if interested only.
Bring 2 kidneys. Yet another, we've made a trike out of something.
Yeah, and again, something else that looks well put together.
Extremely well put together, but
no.
Why? but and hear me out on this. Why?
How does the steering work on that thing?
It's got big, long linkage rods.
Oh my God.
So this is actually a thing. So especially with the Delta trikes, right?
You say this is actually a thing, like that makes it normal.
So you never noticed how the Delta trikes tend to be really fucking long?
No.
Okay, well, they are.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that.
Rollover?
Yes, exactly. Think of where your tip over lines are when you're seated on a Delta trike.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally like under your elbows.
Yeah.
And if you're seated in a normal, like if you were in a Harley trike and you were up forward there,
yeah.
I mean, your elbows are outside the tip over lines.
Yeah.
Like if you're holding a drink and you hold it out too far, you're putting weight over the tip over line. So God forbid you go into a corner with anything resembling speed.
Right.
So what they do a lot with a lot of these is they make them long as shit. And so you're sitting like basically at the extreme ass end of it. So that you're still inside the tip over lines.
No. That's a no.
No, come on. Only parts of the engine are outside the tip over lines. It'll be fine, Chuck.
It needs 2 giant cold air intakes or I'm not interested.
Oh, I see how it is. But wait, Chuck, this has a major advantage over the other one.
Okay.
This one has one big thing going for it.
Yes.
It blew.
It blew.
Mm-hmm.
And it has motorcycle controls.
Yes, it does in fact have motors. Well,
I see a pedal.
Strictly speaking, it does not in fact have motorcycle controls.
I thought it said it did.
Oh, does it? Let's look. Oh, it does have motorcycle controls. Oh, neat.
Of a sort, but it also has pedals.
Yeah, I think that's the brake pedal.
Is that the rear brake?
No, those are pegs so you can put your feet up and be like, I'm super bad on my trike. And also it's not very comfortable to put your feet.
But I mean, is that the rear brake then right there under your...
I assume so, yes.
All right.
Yeah, I assume the right foot would be the rear brake. Carefully. It's an automatic transmission.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah, automatic
You don't.
transmission. Okay.
It's a planetary automatic. It's just for you, which if you're in a corner can be really exciting. Oh, God.
I always wanted a 98 GMC Sonoma Extreme.
I won't lie. Actually, around that time, if somebody had given me any kind of pickup truck, I would have been like the happiest kid in the world.
Keyword being kid.
Like everyone else of just got a driver's license age in Vermont. If someone gave me a pickup truck, life would be good.
What if they gave you that?
I don't know.
Can I trade this for a pickup truck?
As it was, I got a Mercury Tracer hatchback, which, let's be fair, could be worse.
That ain't bad.
It's technically a car.
I had a Mazda 626.
Oh, you 626. Oh, well, the Tracer is actually a 323 with a
automatic seatbelts.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Look at Mr. Fancy Car over here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
With
Jesus.
a trunk big enough to have sex in.
Yeah, no, that Tracer definitely didn't have that.
Ask me how I know.
No. I will not, sir. I have considered your offer, and I am rejecting it. Thanks for coming in.
Flexible little Japanese girl, just saying.
Thank you for your patronage.
I miss being
Please
a teenager.
come again.
I miss high school.
Oh, man.
So why does he have a big Chevy symbol? That's just taking $5,000 off the value of that. What?
Oh boy, here it goes.
158,000 miles?
Well, where do you don't make this trike out of an engine from a new truck, Chuck. I have this brand new truck. Maybe I'll make this fucking trike out of it.
Someone would.
No.
Kentucky.
No.
Kentucky?
Is there a truck with less than 100,000 miles in Kentucky? Is it legal to have a truck with less than 100,000 miles and no rust in Kentucky?
Well, I was driving through. City Slicker didn't know what he was doing.
Oh, man.
He stayed in the wrong town after sundown.
There are some weird and unexplainable things in these classifieds, Chuck.
Yep.
Things that are so unexplained, I could almost call them paranormal. Okay, so we're on with Miranda Young, a.k.a. the Ghost Biker, cue scary theremin sound, who, as it happens, is also the actor / creator / chief cook and bottle washer / caterer / writer of the show, Ghost Biker, of the same name.
Just never put the words ghost and pimp together in any combination whatsoever for your show.
Oh, we're gonna get sued.
And
again.
you'll be fine. No, I didn't put them together.
Oh,
they were separated by punctuation.
and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long story.
Hi, Miranda.
Hey, how are you?
We're great.
So for those who may not have seen Ghost Biker and are frantically Googling it right now, hopefully you're not on your bike listening to this while you Google it, you freaking weirdos. Ghost Biker is a show on YouTube where Miranda rides her sporty around and investigates stories of ghosts in various towns around, which sounds like a really good way to turn riding into a job. Good job, Miranda.
Thanks. I'm trying my best at it.
So I gotta start with the obvious question of what possessed you to make this
Possessed.
thing? It was a ghost.
It was a dark and stormy night. Miranda was talking to the Wheelnerds.
Well, those ghosts that will get in your car whenever you're driving across the bridge, they like to get on the back of your bike too. So, no, when I was, I've always been interested in it since I was a kid. And about nearly 10 years ago, I had a guy at one of my former jobs approach me. He was in HR. He knew my photography background, and he approached me about looking at the way he phrased it was some weird photography. And I'm down for that.
Well, usually when a girl gets asked that goes in a way.
Guy asked a pretty girl, you want to get into some weird photography?
I got some pictures to show you.
So what happened after you maced him?
Well, I looked at the photos, and he told me he was a paranormal investigator. And basically what he wanted me to do was look at and see if I could debunk some of the images. Make sure they weren't dust, which is kind of a common thing, or just some kind of weird photography anomaly. Yeah, those dusty orbs.
Or somebody somebody developing it weird or
Exactly. And of course, with digital photography, you run into a whole gamut of strange things that you wouldn't necessarily get from film photography. So, so I looked at quite a few pictures and I was able to debunk some, and then others I was able to label as unexplained. I never really will label anything as paranormal. Usually, most of the time, it's unexplained. So anyways, yeah, I've looked at those photos, and they invited me on an investigation to kind of pay me back for looking at the photos, and I had a lot of luck.
Wait. So he showed you some pictures that were weird, and then he was like, "Hey, you want to go hang out all night with me in this dark and lonely place?"
Pretty much, him and a friend.
Whoa.
You know, when someone says, "Hey, you want to go hang out in an abandoned, supposedly haunted building?" You know, why not?
Dear Penthouse Forum, I never thought it could happen to me.
The funny thing is, I think it depends on the type of person, because I see a lot of people being like, "Hell no," and I can see other people who clearly include Miranda being like, "That sounds awesome."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I took a friend with me. I actually took my sister-in-law with me, and so we went. It was actually a Mexican restaurant. That's on it's a local one that's on a pier, and
a haunted Mexican restaurant.
Oh my God, I can't believe that's a thing. Is that it? Wait, is that in season 2? Please say that.
No, it's not. I was actually a member of that team, but now some of the videos from where I was on the team is actually on there. But
okay.
But yeah, no, they had a lot of strange things happening because it was right there on the water. They had a kid who had drowned in a boating accident. There was a lady she had a seat at the bar, and so she liked to frequent that area. We would get a lot of activity. I actually had a drink with her, it's kind of weird. I had a girls' night with her, and,
wait, you had a girls' night with the ghost?
Yeah, we sat down and we had a drink together. Like I said, I know that sounds strange. But yeah, we had a drink together, and then there's also a security guard who would walk around that had a heart attack and ended up falling in the water.
Oh.
Yeah. So that night.
So don't have a restaurant near water is what I'm hearing. It will cost you a lot in insurance.
Well, not a Mexican restaurant for sure.
Well, you know, I got a lot of Class A EVPs that night. And, you know, a lot of different activity. I was touched, and
was any of it in Spanish?
Actually, yes. A couple of the EVPs, we had a lot of flashlight activity, and a couple of the EVPs were actually in Spanish. We had a male voice yell out "Hola," and I feel like there was something else that was said, but that was in Spanish. Mm-hmm. Something senorita, I believe.
Okay, so for me, the now I can tell you that the total number of ghost shows that I have watched now is 1.
Oh man,
Ghost Biker.
I've watched a lot of ghost shows. So
fill me in on some of and the other listeners who are they've watched one, now that they've watched Ghost Biker, in on some of the jargon here. So you talk about EVPs, Class A. So I'm hearing there's clearly like a
ranking.
A ranking
for
and
electronic voice phenomena.
That's right. Yeah, and
this is my thing, though.
Okay.
And just to say, you know, I actually don't watch a lot of the paranormal entertainment shows either. I started out back in the day with Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures before, you know, Zach started getting possessed by everything.
I just like to watch him squeal and run away from stuff like snakes.
Exactly.
And spiders.
And you know, for me, that's one of the scariest things that's in a lot of these locations are the animals or
the non-paranormal, very explained with teeth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But back to your question. Yeah. You know, EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon. For me, those are the ones that are the most convincing. You know, because my background is in photography. A lot of the time I can explain a lot of the stuff that's caught on there. But if you're in a location alone and you're obviously, you know, female and get a male's voice, or if you're with a group of females or if you're with a group of adults and you get a child's voice, for me, those are things that are more convincing because I have no real explanation for that. The Class A ones are the ones that are very clear. Whenever I'm classifying something as to whether I'm going to put it on my show or just release it, I usually listen to it 3 times. And if some of them are very obvious, some of them are not. And then whenever I get ready to rip the audio and put it in there into the video, sometimes it will be, it goes through a compression. So if it loses the quality, I feel like if I have a hard time hearing it and if I have a hard time understanding it, I won't put it on there. If in doubt, I'll throw it out.
Sure.
Same.
This is why you're not on Discovery Channel and some of those shows that, that someone's foot hitting something. They're like, there it is.
Exactly. And, I started with a team. And so there was 5 of us on the team. And, we were always, when we would hear something, we would send messages to each other. We were very, very particular about what we would put out because you do run the risk of noise contamination, especially in a lot of these abandoned buildings where there's no windows. Depending on whether a road is nearby or, a restaurant or something like that, that could be nearby that could cause some kind of noise contamination. So again, if we're ever in doubt, the only time I really like to put anything up there is if it's something that I just can't classify as being explained.
Mm-hmm. What geographical region do you cover?
Really about anywhere. I'm here in Tennessee, and so Southeast Tennessee. I cover just in this past year for season 2, and we've actually been filming some for season 3. Florida, went down to Central Florida, over North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky. I'm actually
do a lot of Civil War battlefields.
We have done quite a few of those, just because of the nature of the area that we're in.
Sure.
But yeah, it's pretty much anything goes. Anything from home residential. I've done quite a few of those to just your big commercial places. I kind of I did a lot of the commercial places when I was with the team, but my show tends to focus more on the small town areas because those are places that they're non-commercial and they haven't been investigated very much. And my thing is, it's like you'd be hard pressed to really to take a map and close your eyes and put your fingers somewhere on the map and not find a town that doesn't have some kind of local story or legend that people know, or even like some kind of strange building, that people don't really know what happened there. We'll go explore that. So really, especially being with the bike, and being bikers, you guys know it's not always about the destination, it's about the ride. And so with that really kind of opens me up to really anywhere, but currently I've been sticking with the Southeast, but I've actually got an investigation up in Massachusetts at the Lizzie Borden House in November.
Ah,
nice.
Massachusetts in November. Yeah. You have fun with that, Southerner.
Right.
At least it won't be hot and humid.
Well, that is true.
That's true.
So one of the things I actually really loved about the show is, and I say this is the only one I've watched because it's the only one I've actually watched and chosen to watch more of, because I've seen half episodes in hotels of, whatever's on for other ghost shows.
And there's a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. I actually like I don't know how to put it, the smallness of it.
Yes.
Because everything you do feels like, okay, this is something I could actually go see.
Yeah.
Not like, this is a big set piece. This is actually just a thing. And she's going right there. And there it is.
And it's her, and it seems like maybe one other
person. Yeah. My, we set it up kind of vlog style, or small episode. The guy that travels with me, my videographer and co-producer, Josh, he's not a paranormal investigator.
But does he ride?
No, he doesn't ride. So he gets to be my shit hauler sometimes. I keep my equipment small, And just because I am on the bike. But sometimes when I'm doing larger places, I may need to pack a few other things. So he does help with that. But no, we set it up to where I could either film by myself or film with him. And the whole goal of this whole process was, I was with the team, and pretty much on the weekends or anytime I'm not at work, or if I'm even traveling with work, I would always go out either on my bike or in my Jeep or wherever, and just investigate, different either supposed haunted locations or abandoned locations. And I started taking a lot of pictures, and I would post those on my social media, and people would ask questions about the place. And then they would ask if I had investigated it. And so that, became the idea to put it onto video and document that. But I wanted to hit places that even if you didn't have paranormal activity at the location, you would still have a really cool story that could carry the episode. And I set my episodes, I wanted them to be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes long, because a lot of the people, when they sit down to watch a lot of the paranormal shows now, especially the web series, they may be an hour or longer, and they're hard to keep up and hard to follow. And a lot of the time they're repeating themselves and everything. So my goal was to keep it like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover all the important parts, but short enough to keep interest. So, so I was looking.
But your show's not 5 minutes long.
Well, I'm tall, so they got to be a little bit longer, otherwise they're.
There you go.
But no, they, excuse me. I wanted something to where if you're sitting at work and wanted to take a break, you could click to it and you could watch it. Or if you were going to sit down in the evening, you wouldn't look at it and see this daunting, hour-long video that I've got to commit this much time. So my show's 3 parts. The first part is a travel sort of that you're going to see that more in this second season than you did in the first, but it's a travel to this small town or this location. I talk about
the kind of setting the stage.
Exactly. I talk about the city, try to give some kind of interesting fact about the location that we're going to be at. And then I tell the story. So the story is, and that's what a lot of the shows are lacking, is the actual history or the story of the place. And
yeah, because sometimes it seems like we're just walking in this house. Why? Because we heard stuff.
Exactly.
Well, like what stuff?
Right.
Cool stuff? Scary stuff? Weird? I mean, give me something, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the first episode in season 1, the Bleeding Mausoleum in Cleveland, Tennessee, a lot of the people who live in Cleveland had contacted me afterwards, and they were like, I've always seen this mausoleum here. I knew the story that it was of Nina Kragmouse, but I never knew the whole history of her family and how tragic it was. So I got a lot of that.
That was the moment at which I was hooked.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And so that's what we try to do. And, I've got a lot of people, my demographic is history people, bikers, and then also paranormal. And so I try to get a little something for everybody. A lot of the people who watch are not even actually paranormal fans, but they've found that they've really been interested in it because the story hooks them.
I was going to say the very thing is that the history comes out, and I'm like, ooh, interesting.
Exactly.
And the paranormal goes, and I'm like, okay, this is weird.
Right.
And but the history is, I'm hooked by the history part of it, because you'd never know the history of a lot of these little places if someone didn't, tell you.
Exactly. And it may even be something so simple as that building that you pass every day on your way to work that you just don't know what's in it. And there may be something tragic that happened there, or it may just be a strange abandoned building. So yeah, that's what we try to hit with this, and I found it's been pretty successful. The biggest complaint that I've had, actually the only complaint, has been that they do wish it was longer. So some of the episodes in season 2, and of course the season finale that we did live last season, it was longer. But yeah,
that was a 2-part thing.
It
right?
was.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's been kind of cool how it's worked out that we have captured all 3 of those demographics, because honestly, when you get to a location, one episode, there's a big process to putting one of these episodes together. And what I'll do is I read a lot of books from these towns. They're sort of like the local stories from those areas. And I find if somebody's not contacted me, I'll find one that's interesting. So I've got to research it, on several different levels, not just, from the one book I'm reading. Find the history about it and write it up, go to the location. And so you can have this really cool story written, but then it's kind of like when you go to do the investigation, it's sort of like you never know if your actors are going to show up, for filming. And, we've been very fortunate that I tend to get a lot of activity wherever I go. But again, that goes back to what I was saying. If by some chance the episode doesn't have any paranormal activity, my hope is that the story is interesting enough to carry the episode. And too, just because you don't get activity that night doesn't mean that there's not anything there. That's why I like to investigate several times if possible. It could just be an off night. There could be several different factors causing there to not be activity. But because I've done lives and stuff where there's nothing. But to me, that's a good exercise to show people that, one, everything is not always how it is on television. And
you've broken their hearts.
Exactly. And so, so it doesn't always happen like you think it would. And 2, it's, that's just how it is. Sometimes it's you're sitting in a room talking to thin air, rather than, something always happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if a listener is interested in getting into paranormal investigation, I assume there must be situations where you can't actually go into a place because it's not yours. But what's the starter pack? I mean, how do you kind of get started?
There's a lot of different teams that will have events that people can go to. A lot of these different commercial locations. I did an event back in December at the Hells Bar Dam here in Chattanooga area, and Ghost Adventures has been there. There's been several different people that have been there. They have a lot of activity. People can come and they can investigate. It was myself and 4 other people who were the tour guides, and we took them. They could bring any of their equipment. They could use some of ours. So that's an option. My advice on one is to, my favorite tool is just a simple digital recorder. And I feel like, and if you're patient and calm and you just go in with the right mental,
mindset.
Yeah, thank you. If you go in with the right mindset, just having the recorder and asking questions can go a long ways. Having a digital camera, that's good. And, I like to use dowsing rods, which are just, we call them witching rods. They're what the old timers used to use to find water. And, so, you can get, some of the equipment can get pretty expensive. I keep it pretty simple. That's what I would suggest, is finding someone that goes and, just, getting a recorder. And I wouldn't trespass. I know a lot of the urbex people, and I do a lot of urban exploration as well. But if there's no trespassing signs, I don't go up in the...
Probably not a good idea to trespass.
Well, if you see the no trespassing signs, then obviously you would obey them.
So you're saying maybe the ghost covered it up?
Well, just like we always ride at the posted limit.
Always.
We
Exclusively.
always obey the no trespassing signs.
I observe all posted limits and
Indeed.
signs.
That's right.
It's kind of interesting you brought up the dowsing rods because I haven't seen very many investigators use dowsing rods. I mean, the EVP, the digital recorder, the ghost box, that kind of stuff I'm pretty used to. But the dowsing rod was pretty new to me. What got you to do that?
Forgive me for asking though, because growing up in Vermont, a water witch can make good use of a dowsing rod, but anybody else is just a stick.
Right.
Are you a witch?
Well, if I told you.
She calls it the witch sticks, but yeah, it's a water witch can use a stick or, just point at a map with stuff.
That's true, because there are the certain kind of sticks that they're forked. These are actually copper rods, and they are.
Oh, they're not coat hangers.
Do what?
They're not coat hangers.
You can actually make them out of coat hangers.
That's what I thought they let people did with. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, people will make those. These are actually some that I purchased from one of the old timey stores.
A witch.
But
you bought it from a witch. You can say it.
Well, Amazon. Excuse me. No, they free spin in those little. They're kind of in these little tubes, and they free spin. And they've actually got some new ones now that are electronic. I've never used those, but they glow in the dark.
What?
Yeah. So
how do you make an electronic witching stick?
I am not sure. I've never used them, but
these sound like the little bent rods that a map dizer uses to me. But
yeah, I mean, you can use something like that. Anything that, like I said, you can use coat hangers. Yeah, trying to think. There's another set that's similar to it that I'd seen someone had made out of. I think it was just some copper wire. But yeah, there's different ways. I'm wanting to try to find a way to kind of rig them up to where they're sitting kind of in a stand, and I'm not having to hold them, because I get a lot of questions. Oh, her hands are moving them or whatever, but.
Yeah, are you subconsciously influencing
exactly
it? That kind of thing, like with the planchette on Ouija board.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And that's.
So, what got you into using the dowsing rods? That's what I'm really curious about.
I was on an investigation at a prison up in Northeast Tennessee, and one of the ladies was there, and she was using them, and so I observed her and saw her that she was getting a lot of really good activity. And for some people it works and some it doesn't.
This goes to my theory of it works for the water witch and for everybody else it's a stick.
Exactly. So that's when I started trying those and had good luck. And usually if I'm somewhere at either like a speaking event or just kind of out with friends investigating, I want them to use my rods so that they can see, just how challenging they are to use, and that it's not something you can't really, when they're spinning, you can't really stop them. And one of the experiments I like to do is I like to say, for instance, I did it when I was up at Waverly Hills. They've got the doctors, they've got the patients, they've got the nurse that hung herself, they've got the children who were there, random animals. So what I did.
That place is freaky.
It really is. And so what I did was I printed out pictures of the nurse, of one of the doctors that worked there, some children playing, just kind of a random patient, and then just a random picture of like a dog. And so I had one of the guys that was with me, and this was when I was with the team, I had him blindfold me and put noise canceling headphones on. And we actually did this on a live. And so I held the rods and asked questions. And so he spaced those pictures kind of in a semicircle around me. So I didn't know where anything was. And so when we were asking these questions about, who are we speaking with? Can you point the rods at the nurse? Can you do this? Can you do that? It was actually interacting and pointing. And I like to do stuff like that just to kind of prove that, I don't know where the picture of the doctor is or the nurse is. So whenever they go to point to that, there's really no way that I could subliminally or subconsciously be influencing that with it because I wouldn't know.
Sure.
So what level of evidence does paranormal become just normal, though?
That's a good question, actually. When you do it all the time, when certain things happen, it just kind of becomes,
Tuesday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Another little child, disembodied voice. Whatever.
I'm going to get a coffee.
Pretty much, because, things will follow you home sometimes. But,
That's why you have to say goodbye to the Ouija board.
I will not use a Ouija board or let anyone on my show use a Ouija board. There's certain things that, to each their own. And I'm, whatever someone wants to do, but I'm not a Ouija board or a seance person. I'm more, I don't want to say scientific, but more just kind of go in and people will debate and say that the rods are kind of like a Ouija board. They're all, divining tools, to communicate.
Right.
But, and of course, a lot of that is all about intent, but yeah, there's certain things that I won't do.
Do you think the Ouija board's a little too creepy?
There's a case that we've been working on actually for the last year that was brought on by a Ouija board. I feel like it's I kind of feel like it's a portal. Yeah.
Something a little too uncontrollable.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's one of those things where people will say it's a child's toy and everything, but when you go back and look at the history and how far this thing goes back, the Ouija board was actually created as a tool back in the day when I hesitate to say Puritans, may not be Puritans, but back in the day when people courting each other, touching was taboo. And so, it was created as a game to where a couple could sit across from each other and then they would touch hands, on the planchette and ask questions. And so it was sort of a dating game. And then,
Wait. The Ouija board was pre-electricity phone sex?
Pretty much.
Texting.
Sexting.
Send nudes.
16th century sexting. Send ye nude.
I mean,
the ghost said it.
But it was originally
take off yon top.
Show your ankles.
Show yon ankle. Yay, that if hot.
That be inflammatory.
But yeah, it was created for a different intent, and then over time, the ownership of it changed hands, and so did the direction of what it was used for, and so that's where it kind of turned hands and became the tool that it's known for today.
Speaking of products that have changed hands, how's that for a segue? Talk to us about your bike. How did you? Let's start with, what are you currently riding?
Oh yeah, you're supposed to ride
the
a bike.
show.
Yeah.
But what are you riding most of the time these days?
I ride an 883 iron. I love the Softail Slim right now. That's what I'm really liking. But I ride an 883 iron. And that was my first bike was a Vulcan 750, I think a 94, and it was kind of a maintenance hog there, but
yes,
yeah, and so I fell in love. I've always liked the sporty since I was really, really young, and I knew pretty quick that when I got this one, I would, quote unquote, outgrow it, because it's not, the most powerful bike, but
until you make some minor mods, at which point it runs away from all the other Harleys, and you laugh at them with one finger in the air. Have fun, old people.
Exactly.
We have opinions.
Yeah, so I love it. I fell in love with the paint job on it, the black motor, and I love the look of it. And so I went ahead
and it's thematic.
Yes. Yeah, it's the matte black in all black.
Are you going to go to Bobby McGee's?
I've never been. I would like to. I have several friends.
I wonder how hard it would be to get an investigation in there. If he's like on the Disneyland e-ticket level. I always wonder like how much he wants to charge people to go there.
I don't think it's too bad. I don't think.
That one would be really interesting. He has a hole to hell in his basement.
I have several friends that have gone there, and they actually said the basement was not the creepiest part. And
really?
Yeah. And the part of the problem is the location of it being so close to the road there. They say there's a lot of noise pollution, but that's definitely one of the places. It's actually not that far. It's only about 2.5 hours from where I live.
Mm-hmm. We've got like a pretty famous one out here called Asylum 49.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's funny because during the Halloween season, it's run as a haunted house. And then the rest of the year, people actually go in and do investigation.
That's pretty cool. We've got a couple of those around here, but I've never heard of that. I'd actually like to get out west and do some exploring out there because I know you guys have got some really cool places out there.
Well, it won't be Civil War ghosts, but there's enough cowboy ghosts, more than you can shake a dowsing rod at out here.
What's the best piece of evidence you've collected?
Probably, well, there's a couple of those. On my season 1, episode 2.
Available now.
That's right. On season 1, episode 2, we caught what appears to be a
the face.
Yeah, looking through the window.
Yeah.
That's probably the best visual evidence that I've got. The best EVP evidence, and this is something that's actually going to be in season 2. I spent the night in Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary up in East Tennessee, and I slept in this area called the Hole, and it was their solitary confinement area, and pitch black, these horrible condition cells. I slept about 3 hours in there, and I got 3 minutes and 30 seconds of just Class A EVPs. Everything from, I won't go into the details of everything that I caught, but everything from just speaking directly to me to activity that was just going on around it. That's probably more residual type activity. So there was intelligent and residual activity going on inside.
I thought the face was really cool, but I was also iffy about the way it moved.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it moved with you. So it was almost like I kept thinking, well, what if there's something on
funky reflection or something?
Yeah, some sort of funky reflection, like on the back of your hoodie or something, so whatever you were wearing.
Yeah.
Because it moved right, it synced right with the way she was moving.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, and I totally welcome, somebody that's either,
But it looked totally cool, too.
I've actually got a slower video that we've put up that's slower, we've slowed down, and you can see more of the detail of it. One of the things that I do to try to kind of combat reflections and that sort of thing is, people say, the stereotypical emo, wearing all black stuff, but I actually do it because, because when I'm doing the show, I don't really want to wear any recognizable logos. And 2, I don't really want to wear anything reflective or anything that's going to show up.
That could be
exactly
in the
create
glass.
weird light.
Exactly.
And, You are now the unexplained event.
Exactly.
Right.
Oops.
I mean, I'm a graphic designer in my day job, and so I'm not a moody graphic designer. When I wear black, I wear black because it helps with dealing with the color on the screen. So
you wear black, you light a lot of candles, and you seem to like wine. I'm sensing a pattern.
She's drinking whiskey right now, Chuck.
Well, yeah, but in the show, she's busting out wine left and right.
That's true.
And she talks about it, too. Like,
Is the wine an act?
This
whiskey
wine
is the
needs
true
to
her?
breathe. This wine has character. Every ghost she runs into, she thinks is a lush.
Well, it works for trigger items. I've done some.
Especially the lady on the bar stool, right?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a lady, an old man, a 5-year-old child. She's offering them wine.
Hey, I've offered a lot worse for a lot less.
Whoa.
I mean, I took actually one of the cooler experiments was when I was in the prison. I actually took a porn mag in there, and you'd be surprised at the activity that that.
Oh man, the EVP you get off of that.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable.
Wait, hold up.
I have questions.
But no, it's
So
I try to look at different opportunities. There's and kind of outside the box things. People will always take cigarettes to a prison, or
a knife.
Exactly.
A
Shank,
shiv.
shiv, those sort of things.
The stereotypical thing X that they saw in a movie once.
Yeah. How do you feel about like the people who like to challenge the ghosts or call out the ghosts? No, I'm not talking about Zach from Ghost Adventures at all.
There is a time and a place for certain things, but if you go by the mindset that these were once people, I think you need to be respectful. I think you've got to be respectful of the location, and you need to be respectful of the entities. And that's one of the things that I feel like has caused myself to get a lot of different activity as I don't go in with that approach. I mean, knowing your audience is important. So if you're in a prison and you're approaching it from a prison guard point of view, then you might be more challenging. And you'll get different activity. I was in a prison down in Gainesville a few weeks ago, and it was a lot of these places are not in very good areas, and so most of the time if I'm in a state that allows it, then I'm usually carrying. And so we got different activity. It was just myself and
I'm going to make you a ghost.
Like I said, it's the living that's more scary than the dead. But it was just myself and another lady who was actually in the prison, and we both had our pistols, and we were not getting very much activity at all. And had this, I mean, the activity we were getting, it was almost very, almost like it didn't, not really challenging, but just kind of ornery in a way. And had this idea to take and just, take our guns off and sit them in a different location. And the activity totally changed from that. So I don't know if they knew and sensed that it was, from more of a prison guard kind of point of view or what. And then, the night before, I had investigated at a house where 2 gangsters had been murdered. And we actually used the pistol as a trigger item. And it got a lot of different activities. So, I think it all just depends on where you're at. I don't really ever feel it's okay to really challenge or, berate them or just, do kind of like Ghost Adventures or some of those shows do, go in really aggressive. I feel that there has to be a sense of respect, in some instances. or most instances.
Last question for me. What's your dream investigation spot?
Oh, wow. That is a tough one. Gosh, I don't know. I would love to go to Chernobyl. More so for the photography aspect and just kind of being in this abandoned town.
They do tours now.
That's what I heard. I heard you can actually go. It's actually not very expensive. I think maybe like $100 a day or something.
There's guided tours through Chernobyl. Stop looking at me like that.
I'm done having kids.
I'd like to go there, and then possibly the Suicide Island there in or Suicide Forest. Sorry, I think.
Oh, in Japan. Aokigahara.
Yes. I think that would be interesting just because of the stories that are behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All I know about that forest is the debacle at Chuck's house.
What debacle, Todd? Because of what, with Shelley? Or
didn't somebody bring something from there?
My brother-in-law brought the rock from the forest, and I'm half Japanese.
Okay.
So my brother-in-law, who has nothing to do with Japan, went as part of his Air Force thing, and he brought back rocks from the forest and gave one of them to us, and my wife flipped out because she is very sensitive to the idea of having objects like that.
Yeah.
So I had to find someone else to take it.
Yeah, it was a sufficiently bad situation that I heard about it.
Oh, wow.
Apropos of nothing.
She thought it was the stupidest thing in the world for him to do.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some friends who have taken some stuff from different locations and have had stuff follow them home or in their homes. That's been kind of bizarre afterwards.
That was her big fear.
Yeah.
That's how you got your second Harley, right? You went to buy a new jacket and a Harley came home.
Just showed up in the garage.
Where did the Softail come from?
She's out there with the digital recorder. Was I meant to have this?
Exactly.
All signs point to yes.
Please cross the rods.
So, where can people see you apart from on YouTube? So it's Ghost Biker on YouTube, right?
Yes, Ghost Biker Explorations on YouTube. I'm very active on Facebook, so they can watch the episodes on there as well. And
we'll have the links in our show notes.
And then also, so YouTube, on Facebook under Ghost Biker Explorations, my website, all the videos are on there. And I'm active on Instagram under Runaway Vixen, but obviously you can't, post episodes on there. But yeah, those are the three best places that those can be watched.
And then if folks are actually in the Southeast, you got a couple of appearances coming up, right?
I do.
One in Alabama and one in
I'm sorry.
Alabama,
Yeah, they're actually going to be.
I'm sorry for anyone that goes to Alabama.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
I have family there.
The one in Alabama is going to be at Club South in Birmingham, and it's going to be a pretty big event. We're working to get a big female biker presence. I know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the Litas are going to be coming.
Oh, the leaders are going to be there.
they're Birmingham
Nice.
chapter.
Yeah. We're going to try to get the Lita's founder on the show.
Apparently she lives down the road.
Yeah, she's here in Salt Lake. So yeah.
Oh, right on. That'll be great.
Are you part of the Lita's?
I'm not. I'm really not
You
part
will
of
be.
any group, but
You will be.
But if she joins the leaders, are they haunted?
Haunted Lita's.
I bet some of them probably have some pretty cool stories. But yeah, they're going to be there. They're working on, we've got quite a few sponsors that's coming that's going to be doing a lot of giveaways. I'm going to be giving away Ghost Biker merch. And
Cool.
yeah. So I'm actually going to be releasing my my season 2 trailer on that. I'm doing a podcast on February 13th down there going to release the trailer, and we're going to have that streaming there in the bar on the 14th. So September 14th down there, Birmingham at Club South, and then we've got a really, really big event. Harley approached me, White Lightning Harley in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They approached me.
Possibly the best name for a dealership.
Isn't it? Yeah, they approached me about doing an event. So we're actually it's a meet and greet, and it's going to be a season 2 early release party. So we're going to release the first episode of season 2 on September 28th, which is National Ghost Hunting Day. And We're going to have live band there for the first hour and 45 minutes. And then we're going to go in. We're going to have pictures. It's going to be a red carpet event, have free food. And it's going to be a big badass party, actually. And we'll release it.
Did you say free food?
Free food, free music. And
have you considered, in addition to the band, possibly a bounce house?
Oh, no, that'd be fun.
All motorcycle dealerships should have a bounce house. We're just saying.
And it may or may not be haunted. That's optional.
Hey, a haunted bounce house. I could get on board.
That would be
with that.
actually pretty badass. Now that that's out in the open, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a little round table afterwards with myself and Josh. We're gonna answer any questions as far as, I guess, about maybe a 30 or 45 minute question and answer session after the season or the episode opener releases. And and then we got a couple parties after that. Northeast Tennessee and Oneida, Tennessee, which is actually my hometown. I'm going to be part of Zombie Fest, which is a really, really big event that they have up there. And it goes to benefit suicide prevention and awareness. And so I'll be making an appearance there. And then also just had 2 new events. One is going to be in Johnson City, Tennessee, OT Sports Bar, where we're going to also show, it'll be mid-season, October 19th, I believe. There's going to be a concert, and we're going to re-release season 1 for the folks that, it'll be mid-season, so it'll be perfect for the folks that aren't aware of the show. And then on October, I believe it's the 26th, I'm going to be in North Carolina at Henry River Mill Village, doing a collaboration investigation presentation with Soul Sisters Paranormal. I investigated with one of the sisters there at the entire village at Henry River Mill. So we're going to be presenting our findings and everything on that on October 26th. It's called Booze and Brews. So, yeah.
Brews and boobs?
Right. I heard there might be beer.
Brews and ghouls.
Booze and Brews.
Brews and ghouls. That's what, yeah. How come we don't have events?
I don't know.
We need to have some events.
We suck.
We'll come out there.
We need to get our events.
Yeah. Big Halloween.
We need an event.
Awesome. So make sure to check out Miranda's website and watch the YouTube videos. And in case anyone from my office is listening, I absolutely was not watching them today. That didn't happen. It was 100% at home on my own time.
Well, like I said, they're short enough so you can watch them at work.
You could string them all together at work.
You could.
But that would be wrong.
That would be wrong. No one does that at work.
Miranda, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that was different.
That was different.
And why don't we have events?
Apparently, we don't have events. Maybe if we went to more haunted Mexican restaurants instead of just the regular kind.
Well, they are doing the best of Utah right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could. And there's a category for best podcast.
Really?
Best local podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Listeners, get in there.
Here's the trick. When you fill out the ballot, you have to fill out at least 10 things.
Mm-hmm.
So we put up a crib list saying what the other 9 could be.
Mm-hmm.
Then all our listeners just go and put us in for best podcast.
And are there 10 podcasts in Utah?
Well, no, I mean 10 categories. So you got best news anchor, best brewery, best Mexican.
Gotcha.
Then best local podcast.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I'll be honest, I know of 2.
Local podcasts?
Yeah. Us and Start Talking.
There's like that nerd, the nerds.
Oh yeah,
The Radio 96 guys. They do like a nerd thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 3.
And there's a local comedian named Shane. He does a podcast.
Okay.
There's a few.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get in there and make sure we win.
Yeah, we just need to stuff the ballot box. And you don't have to be local to vote. You just have to be able to fill out 10 spots.
Okay. All right. Fair point.
Yeah, so we just tell everyone else who to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite brewery we can put on the list? I like Ketos. That's my favorite.
I think I'd give it up for Ketos too. Yeah.
I went to Ketos for lunch.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So we got mail. We got
have a lot of mail.
So much mail.
That's what we have more than anything else.
It's like we've been gone for a while. I know.
And people like us.
People like us apparently, which I don't know why. Here's one for you. Just to maybe help Chuck feel better, the new cover hasn't accommodated a passenger yet. I've not had any complaints about the seat from those who've ridden on the back since I've owned the bike. Wheelnerd stickers because it's cool, or whatever. Bugs. And he sent pictures of the new seat cover.
This is Bugs with my old
Red
Ulysses.
Buell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks real good.
It's running.
Mm-hmm.
That one was a reliable bike.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other one was like first year, wasn't it? It was like first or second year.
Yeah, it was like a 2008.
It's like real early.
It was pretty early.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had the shortened
the shorter wheel lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thinner forks and all that. Yep.
The 2000, this one was much better. I think it was a 2010.
Yeah. I had this moment the other day, and I'm like, oh, I really kind of wanted like another fast bike, and Bandit. Turns out it's just totally fine. I don't need one.
I got the Hayabusa for that.
Yeah, and I'm like maybe, but then I'm like, no, I'm gonna get the fuel, and I'm like, I'm gonna get the fuel in like a year from now.
Yeah, you got a new bike on deck.
Yeah.
Speaking of, fuck you for posting that Rotax fucking sidecar thing.
Oh yes, that's not. Oh yes, yes, the RX-7 side bike,
twin turbo.
Yes,
I've had enough trouble with a custom bike.
325 horsepower.
I've had enough trouble with a custom machine no one wants to work on.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for another,
right.
Especially for $15,000.
Yeah. Somewhere there's like an RX-7 person, because there are a lot of RX-7 people, the rotary folk, who's like, oh,
it looked really fucking,
it looks fucking bomb.
Amazing.
It looks great.
But
and he chose a great bike and sidecar combo to put it in.
Yeah.
Partly because he has the actual space to do so.
Yeah. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I know.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be a nice addition to your modern lifestyle.
I love.
I think you sell Paris your Ural.
Yeah, if Paris buys my Ural.
Okay, there you go. See?
Yeah, then I'll need one.
Exactly right. And then we'd have 3 of us, and we could do like a sidecar class and try my cards out.
Did you rewrite the cards after reading that guy's book?
No, I did a couple little scribbles.
Scribbles, okay.
Yeah, just talking.
I'm still interested to try that out with you.
All right, cool. We'll have to do it some afternoon.
Yeah,
give it a whirl.
Tiki stuff for Vespa, not breaky. From Adam. Todd, you guys are talking about not having enough tiki stickers around to keep the motorcycle gods happy enough not to break your shit. I have a solution, a tiki seat cover. May I suggest speaking with Susie and Rafa of Cheeky Seats to remedy this horrible naked Vespa seat problem before the gods break that. Here's a handy link to scooterseatcovers.net.
Cheekies are the Vespa community has nothing but nice things to say about them.
My Stella has held up for years, problem-free since getting the Tiki God seat cover. The detachable multicolored grass skirt scares demons away. I will personally vouch for their workmanship too. Mine has take about any weather you can throw at it for 6 years or so now. Now that I think about it, wouldn't a carp seat cover fit really well?
That'd actually be sort of cool. Get like a pretty Japanese carp painting woodcut type of thing pattern on it.
Classy.
Yeah, that would look good on the Bandit actually.
I wonder if I could get Gwen to do like a tiki embroidery on the Busa seat.
I'm thinking the Bandit. I know the Bandit needs a new seat. I can confirm that it's got rips and shit in it.
Yeah.
But redo with like a carp to go with the kanji on it.
Mm-hmm.
That could be sort of cool. I could just weeb it up super hard.
That would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good suggestion.
Mm-hmm. The Creative Writing Podcast writes, "Hey, Tuck and Chad. Thanks for reading my email, blah, blah, fucking blah. He's going to IMS this year. He's less interested in the show, but he's really looking forward to speed bagging you in the testicles. Like he's prepping for a comeback fight."
Yeah, that won't be happening.
Yeah, it's
will
on.
Beat the shit out of you. I will wipe the floor with you. I will beat you like a drunken sailor with a date on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm. So,
you want to see something really weird?
What's that?
Look at my arm. See anything odd?
The muscle doesn't look like the right shape.
Right.
Did it detach from something?
Yes, I tore the bicep tendon.
Dumbass.
So now it's all balled up like this.
You look like fucking Popeye.
Exactly. It's a Popeye bicep, except it's falling off the side.
Is that going to get fixed?
I have an appointment Friday with an ortho.
Okay.
I'm hoping they can reattach it.
That would be good.
I was moving a fucking dresser.
Wow.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It wasn't even like doing something cool.
No, it was moving a dresser. I was helping a friend move, which you think at my age I wouldn't have to do anymore.
One would think.
But I got talked into that shit.
Sucker.
Yep. And I just heard that thing pop like a spring.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm strong enough now that I can just rip up my own body. I don't need anyone to do it for me.
So, Creative Writing notes that I haven't been working out in a long time.
This asshole.
Yeah, but he did just buy a ridiculously heavy bike that's basically like 5 CL150s welded together with 1.5 gauge MIG wire from Harbor Freight.
Okay.
Yes. He tried to call a number and leave a note. Didn't. But would like the sound of janky valves and certain death from a 2-stroke turbocharged 175cc sidecar brake. Okay, I really do actually want to hear that and see that. Because what? Talk to you talentless hacks later. I'm sorry, that was harsh. I only mean that in context of the podcast. I'm sure you're both very good at your day-to-day jobs. Junkie Smith Nemmerhauser, guy on the internet's Instagram porn star, noisemaker, huge asshole.
I'm going to beat him into unconsciousness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to beat him until candy pops out.
There's going to be a serious slap fight going on. It's the podcast slap fight. The slaps heard round the world.
Goddamn right.
2 grown-ass men going at it. Ow! Not the face! Yep, it's happening.
What? What? No.
You guys are going to have a real fight. It's going to be a sissy slap fight.
No, I'm just.
There's going to be lots of little whimpery noises and
no whimpering
and like holding your head way back while you slap. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, slappity slap, slap, slap fight, sissy slap fight.
Now I have to kick his ass for real,
slappity
just
slap.
To prove you wrong.
Slap. Do this, protect.
Aaron writes, "What's one way to make a helmet more appealing to Harley riders? Well, you make it less safe. Check this crazy thing out. Still love the show against all better judgment. Just ribbing ya. You guys are great. And Todd sounds so much like my little brother. It's downright spooky. Stop having responsibilities and play with motorcycles more."
I'm trying.
And he sent us, what the fuck is that?
It's a helmet. A skull-shaped like Harley Davidson helmet.
For $100.
$100. So as near as I can tell, this is one of those, and this is a new and disturbing trend in helmets. Is they have like a half dome or like a 3/4-ish helmet, but it has like a face cover,
face mask.
Yeah, like a mask.
Yeah, like Bell does that.
Yeah, like not like a proper helmet.
Yeah.
So you get all of like the discomfort of having a fucking thing over your face.
Yeah.
Without having it be solid like a full face where it doesn't touch your face.
Right.
And none of the protection. So that's rad.
Well, it does keep rocks from hitting your face.
I am continually amazed at the lengths to which people will go to wear a shitty helmet and keep the wind and the icky buggy poos off their fucking face. Oh my God. They have the technology for this now, right, people?
But I gotta look cool.
Like $100 fucking rag things that they wrap around their face.
I can look cool though.
You can look plenty cool in a full face.
Not with, look at that skull shape though, Todd. I could be way cool in a skull thing.
Okay, if I had a head the right shape, they make a fucking helmet that is Venom. Okay? Do you know how fast I would own that fucking helmet?
No, but you're going to send me the link to that fucking helmet.
Okay. I don't think you can wear it either.
I don't care. You say that like it matters.
Don't care. Yeah, I don't like this trend. I wear a full face helmet for fuck's sake. I was talking with a bunch of Vespa people on our Vespa, and somebody's like, "Wait, so you wear the same gear on your Vespa as you do on your motorcycle?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, it's comfy."
Yeah.
I change my gear based on the weather. I don't give a shit what I'm riding.
Yeah.
It's cold. Stitch, full face helmet.
I come from a land where guys would stitch a DOT label to knit caps.
God damn.
And claim I'm legal.
Oi. Ending on a slightly happier note. Gentlemen, first off, happy 40th birthday to Todd. Caught the episode with Gwyn on the way home from Denver. 40's an interesting milestone. Too old to bang 18-year-old blondes with a clear conscience.
Says you.
Too young to get any kind of AARP discounts. You could always start a cult, though. I'd join, especially for the sun-worshipping cult. I'm afraid of the sun, I'm not going to lie. He regrets that Chuck is out for AIM Expo. But has invited us to some other events, so we'll see what happens.
I'm kind of bummed I'm out for AIM, too.
Digs the episode with Gwen. And also, by the way, be careful listening to Wheelnerds on a plane and giggling. People will think you're nuts. FYI. Important safety tip. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe coming through SLC. So that can be fun.
Next summer. Cool. Mm-hmm. For the BMW rally.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Which apparently is in Montana. So
yeah,
maybe reachable.
I'm still a member of the BMW.
Oh, that's right. You're a BM. I'm
a moi.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, putting together a motorcycle media summit thing for it. If we had an excuse to show up.
Hey, can we get in free?
Yeah. That would be pretty much the trick, right?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. You're not out of BMW. Well, fortunately, I have the sidecar. So they'd be like, that's not a BMW. Ooh, look at the sidecar.
Dude, we'll just put a couple rondelles on it. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
Just say it's like the stealth, in research.
Mm-hmm.
Sidecar
research mode, new S1000.
Yeah.
It's the S1200.
We'll put some zebra stripes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. They'll totally buy it.
They'll buy it. Top to bottom. Soup to nuts.
Hell yeah.
P.S. Rubber Ducky says, squeak, squeak. Dude, thank you for that
cool,
rubber
right?
duck. It is so cool. The amount of enjoyment I've gotten out of that rubber duck is far in excess of anything anyone should get out of it. The fun of, so I took video in my helmet while I was riding, and I have conversations with a rubber duck. I'd be like, gosh, the road seems pretty empty today. Squeak, squeak. I agree, ducky.
You've taken it farther than I have.
Yeah, and it's anytime like things are getting on my nerves or like I'm having a shitty day or whatever, I'm just like squeaky squeaky. It's like you cannot not smile. It's awesome.
The rubber ducky is cool.
It is fantastic, and it looks awesome up on the bars too.
Yeah.
And my daughter just thinks it's the greatest because so my sidecar, in addition to being actually used as a go ride it like an idiot vehicle this weekend, is also now the like schlepping the kid to school vehicle. Because it just with the new school it works out that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's right on the way to the office, so I'm like, all right,
jump in.
Yep. My only complaint, and this is one I've come to, is I like the Kinder Rider stuff, and it's really protective. The trouble is because it has those expansion zippers, the side leg zippers don't go up high enough.
Okay.
So like if you're trying to like get the kid out of the gear and into school stuff, you basically have to take their shoes off, which is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I understand why that is. Like it's just wouldn't work any other way. But I'm definitely like, there's part of me is like, oh man, I really wish they had like regular side zip pants we could put on her. Because then you just done. But I already told her, I'm like, when you're full grown, I'll buy you an Arrow Stitch.
That's cool.
I'll buy you a $1,200 Arrow Stitch and a $200 bike.
Yes, and the $600 Helite.
Yep. It'll be some trainer that Sarah's done with, covered in fucking dents
and immaculate gear.
Some just shit pile trainer that's no longer in use.
Yeah, my daughter has informed me that I am to be picking her up in the Euro from school.
Oh, okay. So it's back on.
Yeah, she's willing to go and do helmet shopping with me.
Good.
So we can get her a helmet.
She'll like having a proper full face. It's really.
She has one.
Oh, okay. She does. Good. Okay.
Yeah, she transitioned to full face last year.
Oh, okay. I guess her head's probably getting big enough to go in like really small doll helmets, or maybe. Anyway,
there was a kid's full face at Cycle Gear, so we got that.
Cool. Yeah, the Cycle Gear ones didn't fit us. We went to Wrights, though, and they had the HJCs in the Vegas.
That's where I
fit
want to
well.
take her. To go to Wrights.
Yeah, the Vegas seems to be a little more ovular for heads like yours and mine, my daughter's, and that'll probably work better.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Riding. It's nice.
It is. And this was, I'm curious to see what kind of feedback we get on this show, just because the guest was so different from what we usually cover. But for me, it was great because I really nerd out on that shit.
Ghosts and motorcycles?
I've done ghost hunts.
Interesting.
They're really boring.
I suspect it's a lot like a regular hunt.
There's a lot of sitting in the dark.
Sitting in the dark while grasping hands find you. Wait.
Well, whoever, the girl that's with me will find grasping hands finding her.
I thought you went with Ro.
No, I went with my ex.
Oh.
Ro and I went to go see Mothman.
Okay.
It's different.
Okay.
Yes, I am that kind of nerd.
Fair enough. What have you learned this week, Chuck?
That there is a suitable crossover between motorcycles and ghost hunting.
I've learned that it's not just the auxiliary wheel nerds that fall in that category. That's all we got time for this week. Until next time, I'm Todd.
And I'm Chuck.
Ride safe, everyone.
We'll see you next time. You can contact us at wheelnerds@gmail.com or leave us a message at area code 801-917-4136.
Record an intro for our show of you and your bike, and maybe it'll be on a future show.
Stickers and other merchandise is available at our website, www.wheelnerds.com.
If you use iTunes or Stitcher, please leave a review for us. Hell, write our URL on bathroom walls if it helps.
If you like this podcast, you can find more like it at Wheelnerds.com. This has been a Wheelnerds production, all rights reserved. Readings from other sources are the property of their respective owners and are used with satirical intent.
It's been a blast.
And cut. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
All right. That's a good one. Okay, cool.
Are you a big fan of the ghost box? I'm not. I'm still kind of iffy about that.
It depends. I never was. As far as the technology and everything goes, I'm not a big fan of apps because, I feel like the apps, they might be pulling from, your phone is, I know this sounds very conspiracy theory, but, your phone is always listening, and so who's to say that, we can't be talking about something, your phone hear it and an app pull it up. The ghost box.
My phone has seen me masturbate.
Hey, Google, pull up the next episode of Ghost Biker.
Oh, wait, I think your phone just went off.
It absolutely just did. Oh, look, it's found Ghost Biker.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about that here in a second, but as far as the spirit box and everything goes, I was pretty skeptical. I had a couple good sessions that, especially like in episode 2, there on season 1. I had a good session with that. And what I do when I'm pulling my stuff off of the ghost box is I use Audacity to pull my audio off. And what it does, is the spirit box has got the sweep rates on it, and you can adjust the sweep rate. So it'll make those bands either really narrow or really wide. And so when I'm listening to it, what I do is I'll pull it off and I'll visually look. And so if a voice, and I can measure my sweep rate by the bands there on Audacity. So if the voice falls inside of one of those bands, then a lot of the time to me, that's probably audio coming from the radio. But if it comes out, if it flows outside of the band, then it's broadcasting over broadband. So it's more than likely a spirit because when you've got your sweep rate set, it's kind of like like that. And so if it falls outside of that range, then to me it's a little more questionable rather than voice.
So wait,
who knew ghost hunting was so nerdy?
is the spirit box then? Is the idea behind the spirit box that they can pull the words being broadcast all over the radio, or they're able to interject words through the radio?
From my understanding, it's interjecting using the white noise to communicate.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what some of those apps have done now. They've removed, because if you're sitting there listening to a spirit box and it's got the static, it can be pretty obnoxious. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, so some of these apps, there's one called Legion ITC. The whole process is called ITC. And so Legion ITC is one of those that removes the static out from it, and you'll get the voices just coming through.
Okay.
I might use those in conjunction with something else, like maybe flashlights or an EDI box, but I never use it just by itself, and I never rely just on that. Like I said, I've had a couple really good sessions. I use the spirit box for the Estes method, which, if you're not familiar with that, I do use that in several episodes on season 2. But basically, you take noise canceling headphones like what I have on now, plug them into the spirit box. So I'm the only person hearing it. I use a blindfold, so it's sort of a sensory deprivation thing. And you're with another person or a group of people. So you sit in this room that's haunted all by yourself. You're blindfolded. You have the headphones on into the spirit box. You can't, and they go into another area, and you put a camera on you. You put a camera on them, and you can't hear what they're saying. So what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to call out anything you hear on the spirit box. And so it kind of works as using the person as a medium instead of just having the spirit box going. The person is also supposed to say anything they feel or anything they sense. And so we've had instances where we've caught stuff on camera around me or the person that's doing it. And then also, some of the things that's been said, we'll call out stuff and you have no idea what the other person has been asking until you go back and review. So, so I like to use the spirit box like that in just sort of a different way. But just by itself, to me, it's one of those, it depends on the moment. Some situations it works out well, some it doesn't.
What do you think of the California walkers?
I don't really know too much about the California walkers. Fill me in on that.
It's two video clips from 2 different places and times, and it looks like a pair of slacks walking across the screen.
Okay.
And there's usually 2 or 3 of them. They don't have feet. They don't have anything above torso and head. It just looks like a pair of legs walking really weird across the screen.
I think I read a Dr. Seuss book.
I mean, they don't call it the California walkers, but there's a couple of nicknames for them. They're really weird. And the way they walk is really just a little weird. It's kind of creepy.
Have you heard any speculation as to what they think it is?
No one has any idea what it is. One was like on a security camera, and the other one I think was in a cemetery.
Okay.
Both times they just come walking across the screen, and they keep going, and no one knows what the deal with them is.
I'll have to look that up. I've actually not seen that. I've caught stuff in my
just gave
house.
you a ready excuse to go to California.
Exactly.
It is a creepy night crawlers. Fresno Nightcrawler is another name for them, and they are just they're just creepy looking. I'm like pulling it up.
First there'll be some creepy music.
Yeah.
And then it won't happen.
Well, I caught
I'm just
something
showing
here at the house that was really odd, and I need to show it on video. It was a whole progression of things that happened. I had my motorcycle jacket laying on the chair, and I have a dachshund. So she's like 13 pounds. She's a small girl. And the jacket was one of those mesh ones that had the armor inside of it. And so when I got home that evening, she had actually pulled it off and used the bathroom on it. And so, of course, I'm pissed off because, she shit on it and then went and peed on it. And so I couldn't figure out why. So I've actually got security cameras here in my house. And so I wanted to watch and see what was going on. And she did this 10 minutes before I came home. And just before, it was a minute and a half before she did it, and I'm not a big orb person. You know, I joke about the dust orbs, but for me, it has to, most of the time I can explain it as a bug or dust or just some kind of debris in the air. But there's been a couple things that I've experienced that I feel could potentially be orbs. But this actually comes out of the middle of nowhere. It comes out of my jacket, actually, and it's real small, and it just blows up into this orb that goes across the screen. And then right after that, my dog goes over to the jacket, pulls the jacket off. So instead of her being upset at me, I think she's kind of being possessive with the jacket. So she pulls the jacket off, uses the bathroom on it. I come home, and of course I'm upset. And so I go and I clean the jacket, and I'd been playing racquetball or something. And so I brought food home. Excuse me. And so this is about a 30-minute video. So you see that happen with the jacket. And then right after that, I'm sitting there eating and finish eating. And so I'm getting up to take my food outside to throw it away in the trash can. And as I get up, you see something shoot across the video, and it raises up. Now, I'm pretty tall. I'm 6 foot tall. And so it raises up, and it goes from an orb it actually turns into the side profile of a face. And it strolls.
Oh, shit.
It follows me out the room. And it had to be about 6'1", because it's a little bit taller than me. And you actually see the side profile of the nose. And the way it moves out, like when it shoots across, it's just this flash that crosses. But you see it raise up to my height and then forms into the side of a face. And then it just kind of just moves like it's walking across the screen.
Do you have that on YouTube?
I don't have it on YouTube, but I've got the video of it, and I'm actually going to put that out there.
Okay.
It was pretty disturbing, actually, and it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. I
All
like
right.
ghost stuff.
I can tell.